But I wonder, Rowan, whether Independent Senator Lidia Thorpe is also going to be a secret weapon against the Voice. Not because she's against it, but though she is. She wants more than a voice. She wants a treaty, sovereignty. But she was filmed leaving a Melbourne strip club and abusing patrons outside, saying they had small penises, using foul language, telling people, well, you white men stole, this is my land. Photographing one of them, said he was marked. So that sounded like a threat. What amazes me, though, Rowan, because it may be because it was so damaging, right? I couldn't find any report on that on the ABC News. I went to the ABC search site, anywhere. Couldn't find a single mention. Might have been one somewhere. I couldn't find it. Why would that be?
Well, because the ABC play to a narrative, and anything that fits the narrative, they'll go along with. Anything that's against the narrative, they just bury, which is the worst thing. We're supposed to have, the ABC is supposed to represent all Australians. It doesn't. It represents the Labor Party. Even Twitter are now acknowledging that and putting on there that this is a government-funded organisation, so just ignore it like you would Pravda or any other government-funded organisation or mouthpiece. What's fascinating about Lidia Thorpe, of course, I was trying to work out whether the guy was marked because he had a small penis or he was marked because he was on stolen land. Maybe both. Who knows? But the great thing about Lidia Thorpe is that she exposes there's two great things about her. One, she exposes, there's no filter, she exposes exactly what the agenda of The Voice is. And The Voice is the kind of touchy-feely way in to get all the kind of white guilt Australians, good-natured, well-meaning Australians around the nation to feel, this is an emotional issue. Yes, giving a voice is a nice thing to do. But the real hard agenda is the one that Lidia Thorpe keeps talking about, which is a treaty, which means that we throw out 200 years of a legal system and we say, OK, the Crown no longer owns the land. You property owners don't own your own land. It's actually Indigenous land and you now got to pay rent. Whatever it is, that's what a treaty involves. Truth-telling involves basically not truth-telling. This is the hardcore agenda that Lidia Thorpe is proposing. The second thing which every Australian, and I'm glad she does expose it, the second thing which every Australian can now ask themselves, Lidia Thorpe was deemed by the Greens, by Adam Bandt, to be good enough to represent the Greens party. She stood, she won election, and she's up there in the Greens party. Now imagine, we know that nobody's going to be elected to The Voice. There's no details of how people will arrive at The Voice, but it seems to be election is not on the cards. We also know that there's probably no cut-off point. There's no cut-off point. So someone like Lidia Thorpe could easily be appointed to The Voice, could easily be appointed to The Voice for life, and then 5 years later we find them outside nightclubs doing this and carrying on how on earth can Australia in 2023 propose having a key part of our government run by appointed people for life who we know nothing about, who are hardcore leftists with agendas that we know nothing about? Lidia Thorpe proves the very point why we should not have The Voice, both because of the agenda and both because of the individuals. We don't know what we will get. That's why we have a democracy. Let's stick with what we've got.